Hey guys, it's Rebecca Oberstadt. So I know that there is some controversy about these little Zodiac palettes and whether or not they're as good as the big ones. I did just get these in today and I've done swatch videos for each one. I've also done comparison swatch videos for them as well, comparing them to the big palettes. And right now what I'm going to be doing is swatch videos comparing all three of them against each other. Hopefully I have enough arm room for this. And I'm going to be getting into these swatches for each of these palettes. Everybody is like, oh, well, they look the same and they look this and they look that. But to be honest, the way they look in the pan isn't exactly how they come off on the skin. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up was the fact that, yes, this looks like a neutral palette. Yes, it looks like it's just a bunch of nude shades, but it's not exactly quite a nude palette. All right, so I do have my Always Off makeup cloth up here ready to use. I did get the rest of it wet. And these shadows, I'm going to be trying to do like 3 full rows. These shadows are very crumbly, so I know when I'm working with a brush with them that they do end up with a lot of kickback in the pan. So I just know for a fact that I have to go into the palettes a little bit more gently than I would some of my other palettes, but these shadows are all like super soft. There might be 1 or 2 shades that are kind of harder than the other ones, but for the most part, like this one's a harder shadow. They feel very soft when I'm touching them with my finger. And then of course you can see the marks and stuff in the pans from me dipping my finger in. I just don't understand why everybody's like, oh, but it's just a neutral palette and it looks so boring and it looks so this and it looks so that. I honestly haven't found, I was so shocked at swatching some of these. It is unbelievable. Some of the colors that came off when it looked like it was going to be one shade and it came off as another. I was like, holy crap. So there's the Capricorn palette all swatched out on my arm. Hopefully I have enough real estate to swatch the other palettes. Let me try and clean some of these up. And just so I have enough room for some of the other shades. I'm going to try and get all 3 rows on my arm, but as skinny as my arm is, I don't know how well that's going to work. Okay, now that my arm is dry, I'm going to move on, and I'm starting in the same place on all of the palettes. And I will also take pictures of these and include all of the pictures at the very end with and without flash so that you can see the color difference on them. This shadow here feels a little bit more dry as well. The reason I decided to do all of the swatches on one finger is for a couple of, or one arm is for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to show all of them together, and trying to swatch them on my arms and then trying to hold my arms together and stuff, I realized that that's probably not going to be the best idea. So I figured, why not try swatching them all on one arm, knowing that I don't have a very large arm. I wanted to see how many swatches I could get on my arm from these palettes for one thing, but I also wanted you to be able to see all of the shades at once in one spot versus me having to go back and, you know, do this number and hold one arm up next to the other one. I wanted you to see them all in one spot and see, yes, there are some shades that are similar, but these shades are all very different. Some of them might look similar. They might even look bland in the pan, but when you put them on their arm, like this one here looks like it's like a bronzy color. It's not. It's like a rose gold mauve. I was like, holy crap, that's not what I was expecting in the least. Swatching some of these, like this I thought was silver. It's not. It's this beautiful lilac-y lavender shade. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This one here that I thought was a navy blue, it's not really. It's more like a gunmetal color. I mean, I'm just so blown away by these shadows. And I literally, out of the first 2 palettes that have 25 shades in them, which is 50 different eyeshadows, I only found 3 shades total out of all 3 of these palettes that would be similar or very close to any of the shades in those palettes. So right here, I've got 27 different shadows. I've got 25 in each of the other 2 palettes. And so you figure I've got 74, 75 different eyeshadow colors total between these 5 palettes. Okay, now for the last one. Now this shade doesn't show up on me very well because it's close to my skin color. I overlapped on that blue a little bit. I might have to go back and dip in, get a smidge more of that one. And there's all the swatches. Okay, I decided to come up close to the camera so you could see all of the swatches at one time. And there is a color here, it's just kind of hard to see. So there are all 3 of those palettes. Like, this shade is similar to this shade. This shade is like a little darker than this shade. It's kind of like a combination of like this one and a hint of that. This looks like it's similar to that, but it's not. This is like a maroon shade. This shade does look similar to some of these, but honestly it really isn't. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I even mixed shades trying to find similar colors. And you'll see that in my other video. And here it is down here on the counter. I just zoomed in a little bit with the camera. Hopefully you can see how different these shades are. If you like these like swatch comparison videos, I don't mind doing them. I've got the time. They're easy to edit. Let me know. I will definitely, you know, do more of these. I do plan on buying the rest of these little eyeshadow palettes. I think they're cute. They're fun. And when I get enough money and they have more that come out, I plan on picking them up. if you are planning on getting any of these, please let me know in the comment section. Because I really am interested to see if anybody else is going to get these. I know there was like a big hoopla around how, oh, well, this one's so boring and that one's got the blue pop effect and this one has the blue pop effect. These really don't. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green shades. You have, yes, 2 neutrals that you can use, like an orangey based neutral. You've got this beautiful orange sherbet color, but this one here, this shade reminds me of the ColourPop Glass Bull shade. So if you have that shade or you like that shade, this one reminds me so much of that. It is a duochrome. And then you've got this like gunmetal color. Yes, you have a transition shade. You have a like cornflower blue, and then you've got a like a muted grayish like navy blue. Then you have this like burgundy color. Then you have this beautiful lilac, which I thought was a silver. You have like a baby blue metallic. You have a sky blue metallic, and then the center shade is this beautiful white, like icy white shade that you could probably use to put over any of the other shades to transform them. And I did look to see if any of the center shades were similar to the center shades in the big palettes, and they're not. Even trying to mix shades, the only one I could get close to was this one down here, which is from the Pisces palette. Granted, the Capricorn palette does look a little on the, you know, neutral side, but it has this beautiful like pink glitter with, it's like a rose gold hue to it, and you could probably build it up to make it darker. It has like a chance that it could like go more burgundy. You have this like pewtery bronze color here, and then you've got this like brass color, which is like a combination of like pewter and like copper, and then you have this like champagne-y with a slight peach hue to it for the center shade. I really do think these are beautiful. I don't own a whole lot of like beige and brown eyeshadows, and I did find a couple of these were similar to the eyeshadows in the Jaclyn Hill palette in the first 2 rows. There was a couple of similar shades, nothing that was spot on the same.